The market trades sideways as it waits for bigger catalysts. Are the bulls ready to run? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in last week's video, we talked about the fact that we had a potential 5 waves down on the SPX, but it was a micro count, and I illustrated that micro counts are very unreliable, and we were still above support, and as long as we were above support, we remained bullish. That count to the downside did fail, and the bulls traded sideways most of the day on Monday. Now, the question is, are they ready to run? I'll get into that in just 1 second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, with the market trading sideways, not a whole lot has changed, so let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 1-hour futures chart for the S&P 500. As we've been talking about for a little while now, once they pushed through the 764 retrace here at 52.45, we did start to look at this as an expanded B wave. There are several reasons for that. Number one, this pattern up off of the October lows into the April highs is quite full to the upside. Number two, you have a corrective move here off of the lows that doesn't even really translate into a diagonal. And number three, when they push through the 764 and you have missed targets, very often the B wave of the next move goes and hits those targets. We were looking for 5350 to 5400 up here, and that looks like the targets they're going to get. So as we've been looking at off of the low, you had a very corrective overlapping structure down here. They've been working on the C wave of B. Does look like they have potentially completed wave 4 to the downside with a spike lower at the close on Friday. But then they brought it back up here to the highs and failed. So we could be looking at a possible flat here where they come back down, spike below this low into this blue box area, or even with this make a double bottom here and then push up. But overall, if they're going to continue down, it would be in a flat type look, as we would look for this blue box to hold and then a move up toward the 5392, 5400 area next for the S&P 500 on the futures chart. And this move would be the top end of our target area that we had, 5350 to 5400. It doesn't mean that the B wave can't go higher than that. The actual top of the B wave, the maximum is 5562, but I don't expect it to go that high. We do have a pretty complete pattern starting up here if they make one more high. And so I would expect them to be in that 5400 area. So for the move to the upside, it's certainly possible we already have wave 4 in. And we're looking at a 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and 5 to complete. Or, like I said, we could be making a bigger flat here, where you have an A, B, C that holds this blue box area and then moves higher. If they do break below this blue box area at about 5260 and start to move down strongly, we'll have to see what kind of structure we have overall. Off of the high, we do not have a 5 down, which is what you would expect. So I don't expect a breakdown that is going to be too much bigger than this blue box. However, if they do, and they do break through the blue box, the structure will be what defines what we're looking at for that pullback. Over on the NASDAQ, very similar setups where we do have a push higher here out of a corrective move off of the lows. This corrective overlapping move here doesn't even trace out as a diagonal well. So this does give us the idea that this would be an expanding B wave. You also have the push through the 764, the missed targets up top. All of this adds up to a B wave that goes back to hit the targets in that 18,850 to 19,100 area. So the NASDAQ does have a little bit of room to run to the upside here, where they can pull the ES a little over that 5400 area on the move up. Once we get that push, we would look for a move down in 5 waves to tell us that we are starting to have that C wave turn over and come down to the downside. It does look like wave 4 is done on the NASDAQ since they did push to a new high today, and we'd be looking at their 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here up into that 18,950 to 1900 area. Now, on any high on the NASDAQ, since we are at all-time highs, we do want to be cautious and look for what type of pullback we get. A strong pullback that's 5 waves and breaks down below support would be our first indication that the B wave has topped. We would want to see follow through down through this 17,750 area overall. That would be a very strong indication that we have topped and are heading down in a bigger C wave. But until we get that, pressure does remain up toward the targets we've mentioned. So overall, nothing's really changed. We're looking to fill out this B wave to the top here, up into the targets. We're just short of it on the NASDAQ. They've actually hit the bottom end of the target area on the ES. So we would look for them to push up into these NASDAQ targets and then turn over from there. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link and it'll take you right over to the webpage. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible monthly plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there, make sure you love it, become part of the trading team, interact with PT and I, and make sure it's for you before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. We also have our educational material, our Elliott Wave beginners course, and our advanced course. In our advanced course, we're going over some of the complex patterns that you see in the market, such as an expanded flat. You have flats down here. You have fib levels, diagonals, double and triple threes, triangles, how to trade Elliott Wave, which is tricky for a lot of people. All of this stuff that makes the market really complex. If you go in and click on any of these videos, we always start with drawing the actual structure so you can see what it looks like on the chart and lines. Then we put in the fibs so you can see what fib levels it's supposed to hit. And then once you see the fib levels, we go to an actual chart and we look for an expanding ending diagonal so that you can see what it looks like on the chart and how we trade it and what the fib levels are and how exactly they react. This is helping people make complex patterns understandable. As you can see on the screen, many of our people are loving this course, but if it is too complex for you to get started or you haven't done Elliott Wave before, we do have our Elliott Wave for Beginners online course. This course is helping real traders make real money and finally understand the market in a way that makes sense. It can be very difficult when good news makes the market go down and bad news makes the market go up. That's because Elliott knew that the news cycles were useless long ago and that key levels mattered and what happened when those key levels held and when they broke. This gives you a huge trading advantage over the rest of the market. In this course, we have 25 videos where we go over 3 sections: your introduction, where we go over your mindset, your expectations, the KISS method, and why this works. It's actually rooted very deeply in technical analysis. The chart setup and tools, every tool you need to use along with Elliott Wave Theory, why we use it and how we use it. And the Elliott Wave for Beginners area where I go through each of the waves, how to measure them, how to find the key levels, the theory of alternation, corrective depth theory, the pivot, all the things you need to know to make sense of an irrational market. Now, the really cool thing about these courses is if you want to get them at a discount, you can get our bundle plan where you essentially get $30 off of the Elliott Wave for Beginners course. Or if you don't want to pay anything at all, simply sign up for our monthly program because all of our educational material is included in each monthly room. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of our real-time market updates, all of our buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as the training material. You just saw we trade the SPY and the QQQ and we swing in day trade, and we do trade quite often because of that. Now, if you're looking for futures trading, individual stocks, income trading, and advanced trading, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, income trading, which PT is crushing it with, guys. He's got another incredible month going, just absolutely killing it. And his reduced risk binary method that just crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures those trades that's so unique. Something you really have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, our key takeaways for today, nothing's really changed. We're looking to either complete wave 4 down closer to this blue box and then get 5 up, or we have already completed wave 4 and we're in a 1-2 setup here where we would push higher toward the 5,400 area. If they break down below the blue box, structure will matter. How they break down and what kind of structure will tell us more about what that's going to be. Over on the NASDAQ, same types of setups. 4 does look like it's in as we have pushed to new highs. So we would be looking higher on the NASDAQ here and 5 waves up toward the 18,850 to 19,100 area to complete. And then we'd be looking for a 5-wave move down after that. Guys, that is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.